My name is this is Daniel Bobo. This is Daniel Bobo Kurlan, co-host of Best Seat in the House podcast with Robert Kramer and I, and you're watching the Davey Mac Sports Program.
Okay, real quick. You don't need to say co-host with Robert Kramer and I. That makes it sound like you're co-hosting it with Robert Kramer.
Can we please do this on air?
It is on the air. This is going on the air, and then Robert will start the introduction when I say so.
Okay,
But Bobo, you must understand. If you say this is me, Daniel Bobo Kurlan, who's the co-host with Robert Kramer and I, it sounds like you're co-hosting with Robert Kramer and a clone of you. So, Daniel Bobo Kurlan. And you're listening to the Davey Mac Sports Program.
What's up, everyone? This is Daniel Bobo Kurlan, co-host of Best Seat in the House podcast, and you're watching the Davey Mac Sports Program.
Did I say watching or listening? Listening. Don't clap for him.
Listening. All right.
Don't clap for him. This is all
right,
over iTunes and Spotify and Amazon Music. Now, give me a goddamn bumper here. This is Daniel Bobo Kurlan, the co-host of Best Seat in the House podcast, and you're listening to the Davey Mac Sports Program. Go ahead. Just like that.
What's up, everyone? This is Daniel Bobo Kurlan, co-host of the Best Seat in the House podcast, and you're listening to the Davey Mac Sports Program.
That's it. Let's go, Robert. Hit the music, Robert.
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ, lays it in. Right out, 1 second left. Down goes Francesa. Down goes Francesa. Down goes Francesa.
Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Kurlan. Oh, wow. In your life have you seen anything like that? No. Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go in the end zone. He's going to go in the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. Do you believe in miracles? Yes.
Hit it, Roy.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program, where we talk to sports and other stuff, like spring. Yeah, springtime. Speaking of which, why is Yoda such a great gardener? Anyone? He has a green thumb. Yeah. Laugh it up, fuzzballs. Dave, I am your father. This is not the show you are looking for. I love you. I know, jerk. Use the force, asshole. I'm Roy Harder, the musical director, and here's your host, Mr. Eastside David McDonald. There he is. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. We are pumped up on a glorious spring Monday of March 23rd, 2026. Roy, I think you just devolved into doing a bunch of famous Star Wars phrases at the end there. This is not the show you're looking for. I love you. I know, but then you added jerk. That was the famous Princess Leia Han Solo exchange right before he was frozen in carbonite in Empire Strikes Back.
That's right, David.
That was a somewhat deep cut from yourself. Good job. Use the force, asshole. I thought was a little bit blunt and repugnant, Roy.
I try to keep it a little clean, but it's all good, David. No problem.
But you didn't. But you failed. You called us all assholes.
I did. Like I said, I tried to keep it clean, David.
Roy, of course, you're here and you're the musical director, and everyone loves the Roy Heart Attack Kid. But Bobby Tamburo is also here. He's the producer extraordinaire of the Davey Mac Sports Program. But we have a special guest because it is our annual Major League Baseball preview special. Baseball is back, and whenever we do our baseball preview special, we welcome to the program Daniel Bobo Kurlan, Daddy. Of course, known as the co-host of the Best Seat in the House podcast. And Daniel, you're here. Who do you host that show with?
I co-host that show with a close friend of mine, Robert Kramer.
a close friend of yours. I watched a little of the show when you guys were live doing the WBC final, which America lost, Roy, to Venezuela. We'll talk about it. 3-2 final score. So Venezuela is your WBC gold medal champions. The Americans come in second, win the silver. Bo, I thought you did a great job on your live stream. I was there with you all the time. The thing I love about you, Bo, is sometimes you have sort of a, I don't know, like a hostage gimmick. Like you're, I could envision you being one of the Iranian, hostages, the Americans who were taken hostage from Iran in 1980. With the nothing background and the monotone type of delivery, you bring something unique, Bo, to the table. So I want to congratulate you on that. And I think you and Robert Kramer do a fantastic job with Best Seat in the House. Are you excited that baseball is back, buddy? And Robert, do you hear that?
I'm excited, especially after dealing with all...
Sorry, hold on.
I'm excited, especially after dealing with all that shitstorm of a snowstorm all winter.
Do you hear his earpiece? Is that his earpiece?
I believe it is, David.
Well, are we going to hear that for the whole show?
I'm going to try to clean it up in post for you. I don't think it'll be a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
thank you.
Maybe if he just lowers his own volume a little bit, it won't bleed through as much.
Maybe lower your own volume on your earpiece.
Yes.
Your fucking miracle ear is turned up to Spinal Tap 11.
Yes, those Iranians don't have any audio visual capabilities.
I can't tell you how much I love. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Is that working better now?
That is better.
Much better.
That is better. I want to say I can't tell you how much I love you and how much I despise that you use Bluetooth to do these shows. We all hate you because of it. And on Best Seat in the House, do you use the Bluetooth or do you have a proper microphone?
I use this, but somehow we use a different service, and we've had it figured out.
All right, listen, let's not blame the service, okay? That's like playing the fucking whore that you paid $200 for because she gave you a toothy blowjob, Bo. I mean, come on. I mean, it's disgusting. I mean, yeah, okay. You paid $200. You don't want her nibbling on the dick. Am I right, Bo? You don't want those teeth, those chiclets all over the cock. Am I right about this, Bowie?
Yep, that is correct. You want to pay. You want to make sure you get the best for your value.
Just don't be disgusting, Bo. Don't bring this show into the gutter, man. It's our baseball special, man. Okay, this is a family show, for crying out loud. Come on, man. Now listen, Bo, I do love you. By the way, Roy, they have still not made the T-shirt that I gave them the idea for. The name of the show is Best Seat in the House.
Right.
So, if you're a fan of that show, right?
Yeah.
Be Sith. And then the T-shirt is Daniel Bobo's head, and you have Grok or some of these AI programs do it, and it's Daniel Bobo Kurlan, but with the Darth Maul makeup on.
I can see it, buddy.
The red and black. And you're right, be Sith.
Yeah.
Because Best Seat in the House.
Makes perfect sense.
It's an acronym.
Beautiful.
Be Sith. So it's like, be Sith, be one of us. Just in time, by the way, Bo, for the brand new Darth Maul animated series, which is going to be on Disney in a week.
We're gonna contact the shirt makers and have those things sold out.
I don't think you will.
BS. I gave you this idea a year and a half to 2 years ago. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm texting my co-host.
No, don't you text your co-host. We're doing a proper show, you lunatic. How did we get?
Oh, Dave, I forgot to call my mom. Stand by. Don't worry, keep going, guys. It's okay. I just did call this weekend, so give me a minute.
We got Chris Pepper Stanley as our football expert who comes on for our annual football preview special. How do we get roped into Bo? That's what I need to know. I mean, at least Chris Pepper Stanley's a degenerate gambler, so he's forced to pay attention to some of this stuff. But anyway, Bo, I do love you. Yes. Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, I actually did have a bit of gambling history. Two years in a row, I bet on the Mets to win the World Series. 2 years in a row, I ended up in so much debt I had to take part in I had to take part in these deadly games that I was recruited to play by a guy in a train station.
Squid Games, you're doing some sort of weird bit. I actually love the fact that you're improvising something insane.
He brought it to the table.
Yeah, you brought something to the table. And there's a picture of you, Bo, dressed up as Darth Maul. This is all you need. You just take that picture, you put it on a beautiful white or black t-shirt, or for St. Patrick's Day, you put it on a green tee, or for your Mets fans, you put blue and orange t-shirt, and you go, be Sith. And then on the back, very tastefully, not big, but small, best seat in the house. And then in parentheses, podcast. Boom. That's marketing. That's a shirt that the Dave man would buy. I guess I got to call your co-host, Robert Kramer, because I gave you the idea, and that this idea has been stagnant. And my God, dude, I'm doing the marketing for your podcast. Now, we'll get to some of your thoughts of the New York mayors. Yes, Robert?
Before we moved on from Bobo's world famous podcast, Best Seat in the House, that he co-hosts with Robert Kramer, he did live coverage that I got to join him on for the World Baseball Classic, and he gave Team America a pump-up speech. And I got to be honest with you, Dave, I kind of blame him for Team USA's loss. Any interest in hearing how he tried to rally the troops there, real quick?
Oh yeah, you have the audio. Yes, let's hear Bobo. Okay, yeah.
This was between innings, game tied.
All right, here we go. Okay. Between innings.
Alrighty.
Very big celebration. A shit ton of kilos we have right here in this box right here, and it's all yours if we win. Think about it. Go out there and win this.
More cursing.
I freaking need this. I don't want to be laughed at with my coworkers at MLB Network. I don't need this. Save me the embarrassment. Win this. And there'll be a celebration right after.
All right, I can't take it anymore.
The you heard was us giving up a run and losing as he was giving that speech.
I couldn't take it anymore. I could only take a little bit. First of all, at the very beginning, you sounded like the Elephant Man. I don't know what was going on there. I guess the music was blasting you, but I just heard the I'm not an animal. But then you got into it. It was so you were saying that you have kilos of cocaine that you were trying to bribe the Americans with coke.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to place myself in Mark DeRosa's shoes. By the way, already is probably the worst choice ever for America's manager during the WBC tournament. How dare they bring in somebody who's never managed a single game at a professional level to manage the Team USA?
You know what? I'm going to agree with you there. And I'm agreeing with your little rant. He was absolutely inept. He didn't know the rules. He just didn't do baseball 101. I mean, we were going to talk about it later. We'll talk about it now because it just happened. The, not bringing in the closer in the ninth because the game is tied. That's what you do, stupid. When you have last licks, if you have the bottom of the ninth, you bring in your closer in a tie game. And the point is, because you want your closer to get through the inning, give it up a goose egg, and then you win it in the bottom of the ninth. This is baseball 101. The Yankees did this with Mariano Rivera for years and years. Every team does it with their closer. You don't necessarily bring your closer in the ninth on the tie game if you're the visiting team necessarily. But if you're the home team and you're getting last licks, then you absolutely bring him in. Mark DeRosa was an embarrassment. I do agree with you on that one, Bo. I do. And he cost this team the whole thing. People want to, of course, get on Judge. Oh, he's never going to win anything. Judge had his moments. Judge had hit a couple of dingers. He was, I think, around 250 or 260 for the WBC. Bryce Harper hit the big home run to tie the game very, very late, and that was awesome. But yeah, there was some bad managing by Mark DeRosa. I kind of agree with you, and I think that he was inept. But I don't think that trying to bribe the Americans, Bo, with cocaine is necessarily going to work. Also, maybe you were getting that confused with the team they were playing, Venezuela, which has a little bit of narco connection. Colombia, Venezuela, that kind of part of the world, you know.
Well,
Mexico.
I was trying to motivate them. I would be trying to motivate them with the fact that the game is in Miami, one hell of a place to party if you win a moment like that.
Yeah, but Aaron Judge seems like he just drinks milk and goes to bed at night at a reasonable time, maybe 9:30 p.m. He doesn't seem like the type of guy to be doing lines. See, if you're going to bribe these guys, you got to know what they're into. Most of these guys, they like their Budweisers. You know, you have a nice big spread of booze, but a lot of these, maybe a joint ski or two, Bo. But this ain't the 80s, buddy. Sure. If Darryl Strawberry and Doc Gooden and Tim Raines were on the team, then, you offer them an 8-ball, the Americans would have beat Venezuela 15-2. But this ain't that time, Bo. See, you're always thinking about your, quite frankly, dirtbag, degenerate 1980s cokehead Mets, where Keith Hernandez did more cocaine than Hunter S. Thompson. And he got poor goddamn Darryl Strawberry hooked on it, and then Darryl got Dwight Gooden hooked on it, and then next thing you know, they're running around the goddamn Cokies is what they should have renamed themselves in 1986, Bowie. And that was 40 years ago. This is the 40th anniversary of the Mets winning their last World Series. They haven't won since 1986. Here we are in 2026. They're still looking for another one. Is it going to happen this year, pal? It is the baseball preview special, so I'll allow you to make some predictions. Who do you think is coming out of the American League and National League? And what about your New York Mets, your beloved New York Mets?
I feel in the AL, it's going to come down to the last week of the regular season for a couple of teams.
Okay.
And
all right.
I also feel like, I feel like the ALCS is going to come down to 7 games. Literally going to be a 1-0 game 7.
Between what two teams?
That could be between the Yankees and the Mariners. It's going to come down to a 1 game 7. Pretty much, it's going to be whoever gives up the 1 run.
And who comes out of the American League? Let's go. Stop goddamn dragging your feet.
I feel like the Yankees probably come out by 1 run, barely on the skin of their teeth.
All right.
Into the World Series.
All right, fine.
I also feel like this is going to be the first.
Go ahead.
I also feel like this is going to be the first Subway Series since 2000.
So the Mets, he is predicting, will be your National League champions going against the New York Yankees. The one and only Yankees-Mets Subway Series was in the year 2000. The Yankees won that in 5 games. We would have a rematch. That would be awesome. Listen, I'll sign up for that right now, Bo. I need Aaron Judge to get a World Series ring in the next 2 years. Otherwise, I'm just going to lock myself in the room and cry all day. That I have to watch the greatest player I have ever seen not get a ring year in and year out. It is becoming torturous. Okay? It's becoming a mental thing at this point that's really upsetting me. Speaking of the Yankees, opening day for them is this Wednesday, live on Netflix. As now Netflix gets into baseball, we got baseball on Peacock, baseball on the ESPN, baseball on Amazon. It was on Apple TV. I got to see if it's still on Apple. All over the cable and the TV, the streaming packages. It is. This is why, don't forget, if you're a Yankees fan and you want to know where it is, follow today's Yanks game, because that's the account I run, letting people know what channel it's on or streaming service. It's too confusing. I invented it for my, 86-year-old mother. It's too confusing. But Netflix announced somebody who's going to be joining their studio team, and this is NFL backup quarterback Jameis Winston. And yes, I know that Jameis Winston pitched a little bit at Florida State. He was on the baseball team. Understood. But that was many, many years ago. And you have thousands of former Major League Baseball players who are retired. You have so many great guys who are also entertaining and smart who are out there. And Netflix goes with a football player for baseball. Can Netflix stop being gimmicky for 2 seconds? They're quickly irritating the ever-living piss out of me, in all honesty, because everything is a gimmick. And they're getting these weird people to go in their studio, and it's like, dude, just get a few funny former Major League Baseball guys. It's not that hard. But Jameis Winston, you play, and he's not even a starter in the NFL, too. He's behind, Bo our guy, Jackson Dart, for the New York Football Giants. So it's like, okay, the backup quarterback for the New York Giants is now the studio guy for the Yankees and San Francisco baseball Giants opening. It's confusing.
Very confusing, David. Very.
Doesn't make sense.
Yep.
So
and if you think Apple, and if you think the Netflix is horrible, you should see what happened the first year they were doing baseball games on Apple TV. You had these two women in the booth that sounded like The View.
All right, Jesus, Paul, Paulie, getting intense over there.
Can I? I gotta disagree with you here, Dave. I agree that Netflix has been doing a ton of gimmicky stuff, and I hate most of it. However, I think Jameis Winston is an incredibly entertaining individual.
He is. I love him.
He has some baseball knowledge, and I think they're really going to use him for, and I may be wrong about this, is he does kind of have like a childlike endearment where he asks silly questions. Like, I think he could really engage the youth of America.
Time out. You're saying this as if they can't get a dumb baseball player. There's plenty of dumb baseball players or entertaining baseball players. Steve Lyons, the guy who famously he hit a grounder, and on the Chicago White Sox years ago, he dives into first base on the play, and he got dirt in his trousers, forgetting he's literally on live television and in a public baseball stadium in front of 40,000 people. He takes his pants down, Roy, at first base. Well, because there was dirt in his pants. So he literally unbuckles his pants, takes him down in order to get the dirt out of his pants, forgetting where he was. Talk about an empty-headed idiot. All I'm saying is have Jameis Winston do some football coverage when the Giants are on a bye week. I got no problem. Trust you me, you can find plenty of childlike baseball players. There's goofy athletes everywhere. I am a big Jameis Winston fan because he is on my team, the New York Football Giants. He's got a great attitude as a backup. I'm going to be ready for the game, but I'm going to support the starter. I love Jameis Winston, but this is too gimmicky. You have a Major League Baseball opening day. We don't need the opinions of an NFL player. It's silly.
Netflix is facing a crisis because they've lost so many of their male viewers. And men don't watch Netflix anymore, David. That's the real issue. So they've been cramming. Do you really want me to go there? It's because they've become, I would say, fairly political.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of Bo's take from earlier.
Yes, exactly.
Bo's hot take about the Apple TV women and calling them The View. And so you're not a fan. So let me understand. You're not a fan of The View?
No, I think it's the worst thing. I hate it when I'm in a doctor's office in the morning and the TV is tuned to channel 7. I'm like, somebody change the fucking channel. I don't want to see those cackling hens.
In a doctor's office.
At 7 o'clock in the morning.
You're the problem in that scenario. You're the disruption.
The nurse comes in. She's like, "Why is your blood pressure so high, sir?"
Maybe it's The View. Just stop watching The View then.
Actually, I'm not. I don't really yell at that. Actually, you know what I'm doing? Let's say a friend of mine went with me. Was waiting with me in the waiting room. I'm not really yelling at whoever is in charge of me. I'm joking with a friend of mine, making fun of the people at The View, going.
So you're saying they sound like chickens, is what you're implying. That the women, that Joy Behar sounds like a chicken, and that was your chicken impression.
They're a bunch of cackling hens,
bro.
And that is almost something you could almost for sure put on a Torture Daniel playlist.
All right, listen, easy. It's our baseball special, but apparently we're taking on The View, the Davey Mac Sports Program versus The View. Joy Behar and Sonny and the other ones. Whoopi's on that show.
Yeah.
Whoopi DeLaw, I'm with you, Bo. Fuck them. Bunch of cackling hens.
Oh my God, this is out of control. This feud popped up out of nowhere. So I'm not into and the other thing is, Netflix had a Christmas game this year, looked awful. Again, pixelated, buffering. I don't know how we're in 2026. And if you do something live, the number one thing is functionality. You cannot have your live sporting event all of a sudden be pixelated, all of a sudden need buffering, all of a sudden the resolution doesn't look good, and this and that. It's inexcusable, man. Like, come on. It's 2026. All you streaming services do is charge us more and more and more money. The very least, your basics have to work. Your functionality has to work. You have to be able to have a live broadcast that's clear and it doesn't pause and it doesn't buffer. Netflix failed with their NFL coverage right out of the gate. Let's see what happens with the baseball coverage. That's Wednesday. Aaron Judge, by the way, and Shohei Ohtani coming, both of them, back-to-back MVPs. Will both of them, Bo, win a third straight MVP, or will somebody else in the American League and National League take the MVP this year? Go ahead, Bo, you're on the button.
Yeah, I have a feeling Shohei Ohtani's going to win another NL MVP and somehow blame his mother on gambling his own money.
And what about American League? Does Judge win a third one, or are we going to get somebody new?
Judge is going to probably win the American League MVP.
Okay, so he's okay. All right. Because Kyle Schwarber, I'm seeing him win the MVP this year in the National League. Judge, it's hard to win 3 straight MVPs. I think that if you see Cal Raleigh's average improve to the point where he's hitting 290 or something, forget about hitting 60 home runs. But let's say the home runs come back down to planet Earth. He's got 40 home runs, but he's hitting, say, like 290. Then I do think Cal Raleigh and the Mariners make the playoffs again. I could see Cal Raleigh doing it. Here's the other thing, though. Bo, your Mets letting Edwin Diaz go, letting Pete Alonso go. What, Bo? What up with that?
It's simple. Our owner trusted the Mets in the hands of a GM who's obsessed with the book called Moneyball, which, by the way, the team that was known for that was the basis for that book won jack and shit. You know what David Stearns did when he was GM in Milwaukee? Jack and shit. and for some reason refuses to sign pitchers in their prime.
Oh my God. You are shot out of a cannon today. You're all kinds of controversial. I love it. No, you know, the thing that Moneyball forgets that they don't explain in the book nor the movie is that Oakland A's team had a ridiculous pitching rotation. Remember, they had Mulder and Hudson and Zito. And I mean, these guys were like they were getting compared to, Maddox and Smoltz and Glavine of the Braves. And they definitely look past that. And I do agree that any team that has money should never be looking at Moneyball. Moneyball was strictly designed for teams that don't have money. The Kansas City Royals, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the A's, franchises that don't spend a lot, then have to work with the numbers. But if you're a team like the Mets or the Yankees, keep it simple. Good position players, the guys who have good averages, home runs and RBIs and runs, on base percentages as well. That's all. Forget about the WAR, wins above replacement. Forget about the OPS. Forget about all these the newfangled numbers. The best stats are still the old cool stats. They're the best indicators of who's a good baseball player. And you sign those guys. You give them the money. You understand that all baseball contracts go up, 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 up. So you bite the bullet and you go, if we have to give this guy $50 million for 5 years, we're going to do it. Because 3 years from now, a guy who puts up that number will be making $65 or $70 million. So 2 or 3 years from now, this will actually be a deal. That's the problem that Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman keep messing up year in and year out. The Yankees owner and general manager is Hal's cheap, Cashman's cheap. They always want to save money. And then, if we were paying, for instance, watching Bryce Harper and Aaron Judge get along on the baseball team was sickening to a lot of Yankees fans because we're like, we could have been looking at this for 7 years. These guys would have won a ring by now if you had Harper and Judge on the same team. And at the time, it was because, Hal Steinbrenner and Cashman didn't want to pay Bryce Harper $30 million a year. Now $30 million a year for Bryce Harper is nothing. It's peanuts. Because you're getting Cody Bellinger making $50 million. You're getting Kyle Tucker getting 60. Kyle Tucker. He's a good player. He's a good player. He's an all-star caliber player. But this is not the guy who's the best.
I wouldn't give Chris Tucker $60 million.
I don't think Kyle Tucker's in the top 5, maybe not the top 10. And he's making $60 million because contracts go up. I think it's a big deal that the Mets lost those guys. And if I was a Mets fan, Bo, I would not have been pleased with how they treated Pete Alonso. He liked being a Met, Bo. And I would have been, that would have been a guy as a Mets fan that I would have said, I want Pete Alonso to stay on this team, not go to the Baltimore Orioles, which is where he went. What happened there, Bo, with Pete Alonso specifically? Hello? Little Bo?
I think he's blinking SOS with his eyes.
Bo, you're going to have to hang up and call us back. And Robert just texted him. I'll tell you what happened with Pete Alonso.
I hate being left hanging.
The Mets choked. The Mets thought he wasn't worth the cash. They forgot that he's a tremendous clubhouse guy. Mm-hmm. They forgot that he's extremely popular. I know some of this baseball fans don't really care about, but if you're a Mets organizational person, you should care about the fact that he sells 1 million Pete Alonso jerseys a year. Of course. Because you're used to, the players get a piece of that money, but so do the organizations. And, you sell enough merch. That helps you as an organization. It helps you pay some people. It helps you maybe get a free agent.
That's probably where most of that money comes from, David, is in fact merch, worldwide merch. It's certainly not from ticket sales.
I mean, yeah. It depends on the organization, but absolutely. Merch is a big deal. And I don't like the way they handled Pete Alonso. Seemed like a complete class act for all those years. I'm a Yankees fan. But that was a guy we played plenty of, Subway Series against the Mets. And I always have respect for Pete Alonso. He always comes off as a class act guy, a good guy. But what was with the Mets mistreatment of Pete Alonso, and how do you feel about it?
Do you see Bobo in the chat, David?
Yeah, I don't think he's back yet, David.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He came back on my screen.
Give him a second. He reset his Wi-Fi. Said he'll be in a second.
Go ahead, Bo. Yeah, he's still upset with David Stearns. This is what this son of a bitch does to me with his goddamn Bluetooth every single time. I don't know how Rob Kramer does it.
I don't know. I don't either, because Bluetooth has such an inherent delay on it that it's almost impossible to use in any type of live streaming setting.
Well, we have been seeing the Fez Watley-esque pauses from Bo on this episode, where he takes a good second to process, and then I've noticed has given a real politically correct answer every time. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, he definitely ponders his answers.
I do want to say the ABS system got yet another. What? Is he here with us? Because I hear him talking.
He's kind of half here, but Roy and I don't get him, so he needs to log back out and log back in.
Like get the hell out of here. Just... Okay. We're going to ask you to leave and join us, and we're giving you, this is baseball. It's our baseball special. You're going to log off, and you're going to log. Hold on.
He already did. He didn't hold on.
Let me finish my goddamn thing, which is, this is the third strike now. If he comes on and there's technological issues, I'm sorry, he's gone. But he's given us some gold today.
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciate him. Always.
Mm-hmm.
I see him. Do you see him, guys?
I do now.
All right. Now, before you start talking, before your mealy mouth starts running again, before those stupid lips start saying stupid things, let me explain something to you, pal. I love you very much. Your appearance here today has already been called a resounding success. In fact, across the internet, they're claiming this to be the greatest podcast appearance of all time. So no matter what happens going forward, you've been tremendous today, especially with your attempt to instigate a war with The View. Having said that, Bo, it's like baseball. This is our baseball preview special. If your technology fails for a third time, we're just going to say we'll see you in a year. Okay, buddy? We'll see you for the preview special in 2027. Okay? I hate you so much. I hate your technology. We all hate Bluetooth. Okay. I think it's time to say that you've been a tremendous guest here today. And one of these days, I would like you to consider not using Bluetooth, the single worst piece of technology for a podcast of all time. I'd like you to consider that because I love you very much. Having said that, I'll always love you. And I still love you right now, buddy. I love you so much.
See you, buddy.
I don't have little Davey here with me. But if he was sitting here with me, he'd say how much he loves you. And say that it's time for you to go. You've been kicked off the Davey Mac Sports Program.
The most impossible show to get kicked off of.
We have a 3 strikes and you're out policy. It's also, we have listeners to consider. And the young man tried his best. I still think it was a winning and successful appearance. I will text him and say thank you very much. But we're almost done with the baseball section anyway. I only had one last story for the baseball. And that is that the ABS system, they made a big deal that the first female umpire in Major League Baseball, Roy, the first woman umpire is here. And God bless the ABS system, because I want to show you a pitch that she did not think was a strike. I want you to look at this pitch. Here you go, Robert. Roll the video.
Fail in the big leagues. Here's Stephen Kwan. Pitch is a breaking ball outside. And look what if you can see a lot of pitches, have those types of plate appearances, this guy at the plate right now, a great example, Stephen Kwan, of what that can mean for the hitters after you. You see that many pitches, and it can have an impact on the rest of the inning. We had our first challenge doomed to fail in the big leagues. Here's Stephen Kwan.
But let the video run because
that seems
it's almost impossible to throw a more perfect pitch. That was almost like, throwing a bullseye, maybe like a half an inch above a bullseye on a dartboard. If you're just listening to the podcast, it is the most strike of all pitches I've ever seen. You can't almost have a pitch more down the middle. Look, I'm not going to criticize the female ump because this is happening with male umps. But the point is, this is the ABS is showing how inept these umpires have been for decades. That's all it's doing, is highlighting how much of a guessing game and how inept these home plate umpires truly are. And, when you have technology and the ability to improve your product, you have to do it.
That's right.
They have this technology. I've said it week in and week out. The technology is there. Let the ABS, the automated ball strike system, let that be what determines is a ball and strike. You're not going to just do away with home plate umpires. There's box. There's little, is it fair? Is it foul on a bunt? There's called plays at the plate. There's all kind of things that a home plate umpire needs to do. But they can't be in charge of calling balls and strikes anymore. As for announcing the first woman umpire, and she misses a call like this.
Yeah. Can we do a little John Boy-esque thing here and look at this real quick in slow-mo, if do you mind, Dave?
Yes, go ahead.
Break it down. So we watch the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, this
obvious strike.
Oh my God.
Right away, the batter steps out of the box because he knows they're going to challenge. The catcher doesn't even throw the ball back before. And then if you read his lips here, watch Kwan, the batter. He's talking to the catcher. He says, it was a strike. That was a strike right down the middle. That was a strike. And then he turns his head because he's laughing at her.
Guys, MLB, Rob Manfred, wake up. This is going this weird transition year, and that's what it feels like. It feels like for some reason, because it's still about challenges. You get 2 challenges a game, but if you get your call right, you can keep challenging it. You don't get punished. You don't get the challenge taken away. Basically, you get 2 wrong challenges. So in other words, if you challenge the pitch 8 times, and you're right 8 times, you get to challenge a 9th, a 10th, an 11th. You get to keep challenging it. And it's all it's doing is highlighting how horrible they are. And the people who go, oh, come on, man, it's human error. It's part of the game. It's part of the game, man. Stop it. We don't say that in football when we use instant replay. We have instant replay in hockey. We have instant replay in basketball. We have instant replay in tennis, which is an old school, crusty, people at Wimbledon got to wear white and eat, little cakes with whipped cream on them and things like this. And drink mimosas. This is a very,
I think you might be confusing Wimbledon with the French Revolution, David.
No, this is what happens. And even those people are using the instant replay. Baseball has a system that they say is 99.9% accurate. The pitchers will live with it. The umpires will live with it. The hitters will live with it. Everyone will live with the call. And if baseball's object is we always want a quicker, faster paced game, that is going to make the game faster. No one's going to argue. Meanwhile, if you just make the ABS system, then we're not going to have any challenges. There's no need for challenges. We won't be challenging things.
Yeah, robots don't argue.
So yeah, they've shaved half an hour off of baseball. They've taken it from 3 hours to 2.5. They could probably shave another 15 minutes, maybe even another half hour. These baseball games are going to be 2 hours. They're going to be crisp, fast-paced.
They could probably shave off another 30 minutes if they replace the pitcher with some sort of device that would just automatically throw the ball to David.
Like a pitching machine.
A pitching machine, yeah.
No,
cut. Just let's start cutting humans out one at a time until we got a team of robots and everything is done. 30-minute game, buddy.
I'm not opposed to seeing robot baseball. I don't necessarily want robots yet in the major leagues. Okay. But I definitely want the robot umpire, aka the ABS system, to be calling balls and strikes now. And as far as the lady goes, sweetheart, now everyone's gonna know. They're all guys, for years and years and years, the one of the worst umpires in the league was Angel Hernandez.
Oh yeah.
They're now calling this woman Angela Hernandez. They've instantly coined a nickname for this poor woman. She's gonna get hammered on and like, you know, Rob Manfred, you wanted to do the right thing, but look, it's not even just her, okay? You know, Joe West has been a horrible umpire for years and years. There's a lot of terrible umpires. When you see them, you know who they are. As someone like me who watches a minimum of 140, I would say to 150, I'll say I miss 10 to 12 baseball games a year, but I'm watching 140 to 150 Yankee games a year. I can't tell you how frustrating it is to constantly see bad calls, strikes, balls for the Yankees, against the Yankees, for the other team, against it. It doesn't matter anymore. It's annoying. It makes the game worse. It makes the product worse. You're like, this is a joke. This isn't real. This isn't really sports.
Yeah.
You know, imagine if when Michael Jordan's shooting a basketball, you know, in midair as the ball is traveling, the referee decided, instead of it being a 10-foot rim, I have a pole and I'm just going to quickly make it an 11-foot rim and change the dimensions of the sport.
Yeah.
In progress.
Well,
right. That's what's happening. Yeah. Like all of a sudden the dimensions of the sport are changing in real time. No, the rim in basketball stays 10 feet. Well, then why would a strike zone change? We've talked about it before. Aaron Judge has been in baseball for 10 years, folks. They still can't adjust. He gets like 130, 140 calls below the knees, well below the knees. He gets them called a strike every year on him. He's penalized every year simply for being 6'9". Because the whole plate umpires haven't been able to adjust. It looks like a strike to them. But because Aaron Judge is tall, sometimes it's 3 inches low.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's insane.
That actually leads me to a question I had. I know we've talked a lot about the umpires being against it, but for the past 15 years or so, the discussion around catchers has been framing. You know, do you start with your hand on the ground and bring it up to make it look like it's a strike, things like that? Do you feel like there's any pushback from these catchers who have kind of honed their craft to make it look like balls or strikes and vice versa?
There will be no pushback from any players in the bigs, because they're already seeing, they've spent the spring training with the ABS system and they've seen how accurate it is. Remember, they actually had to take the players' dimensions, and all the players had to go and they got CGI'd and scanned and everything. So it's not even just like guessing. It's like, okay, here's Judge. He's 6'9". Here's his strike zone. Right. Okay. And all of the players are good with it.
Yeah.
So
I was saying from a defensive perspective, the catchers who have been taught to make the low balls look like they're in the zone. Like there's been a whole, I forget what the manager's name.
I know, but you're not going to have to do that anymore. You're not going to have to play those silly games. The catcher can just rely on catching the baseball. And I'm telling you, the fans at home will be a lot happier, because as I've said before, we've now had a good 30 years, you know, going back to PlayStation 2's original The Show, the MLB game, where we've seen the strike zone on TV with the little CGI strike zone that's been superimposed over, you know, in real time on screen. We were used to that for about 30 years. So, but when you're playing a video game, right?
Yeah.
It's always accurate.
Sure.
So then you're watching a Major League Baseball game. That same, CGI superimposed strike zone is there. And yet you're seeing pitches 3 inches outside. Well, that's not a strike being called strikes. You're like, what the hell is going on here? No, it really has negatively impacted the product of Major League Baseball for me, at least. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I wasn't questioning. I was just curious because I enjoy the gimmicky stuff. Like I enjoy the, how do we cheat this a little bit? You know what I mean? That's why I was curious.
All right. Fair enough, Robert. Now
for the Astros to hack the ABS next.
Now, that's it for baseball. That's it for Major League. Oh, yeah, right? That could happen. Major League Baseball, though, that's our preview special. I do want to thank Mr. Daniel Bobo Kurlan of Best Seat in the House podcast for joining us for a very turbulent appearance. I still call it a winning one because he
came in, lit himself on fire, and then left. It was like, you guys deal with the mess.
It was kind of fun. It was kind of like when Bill Murray would like invade David Letterman, but not sit down and be a guest, or like Chris Farley, like they would just like barge into Letterman and then like run around the stage. Yeah, like pour like Letterman's coffee all over him, spray paint his desk, and then leave.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
for
what Bo did.
He's texted me about 13 times to say thank you and apologize, so it's all good.
He never has to say he's sorry. Listen, that's a Bluetooth thing, okay? I'm telling you, Bluetooth, I don't know what you're doing these days. Like, just like I have an issue with Netflix buffering, and I got the issues with a lot of, Paramount Plus was not looking so great when I was watching March Madness. HBO Max, and I've spoken glowingly about HBO Max on this show. I love it. But they had the March Madness. They have the non-CBS. They have the TBS, TNT, and True TV games are on HBO Max. And then the CBS game is on Paramount. Both HBO and Paramount, pixelated. Because a lot of people are using the streaming services to watch these games. How are your streaming services so pixelated? Now, March Madness, though, phenomenal. Watch the St. John's game over Kansas. St. John's was up late, and then they looked like they were about to choke away an opportunity to make it to the Sweet 16. This was the second round. Kansas went on a run. They tied up the game. It was late. And then some kid from St. John's, only like, I think, 4.5 seconds on the clock. The kid drives the length of the court, shoots an incredible layup, buzzer beater, boom, makes the shot. Everyone goes crazy, and St. John's advances to the Sweet 16, where they will take on Duke. And March Madness has been tremendous. I've been loving it. The one thing that I don't love is this Kevin Willard. This stooge inherited a Villanova program that under Jay Wright, all they did was win and win and win. They won 2 national championships under Jay Wright. They were making it to the tournament every year, making it to the Elite Eight, to the Final Four. And like I said, winning a couple rings. Unbelievable success for Jay Wright. He kind of shocked everyone when he retired a few years ago, 4 years ago or so. Because even though he's in his 60s, he comes across as a very youngish 60s. He's kept himself in good shape. He wears nice suits. My mom says he's handsome. My mother says he's handsome. And she likes Jay Wright. But he did retire. He's gone to CBS and Paramount. And he's having a good time on television. He gets the job done on TV. He's photogenic. So what Villanova decided to get is this Kevin Willard type of character. Roy, I don't know if you're familiar with this Kevin Willard guy, but he used to coach Seton Hall.
Okay.
All right. This guy, Kevin Willard, gets asked by the CBS reporter right at halftime or so, his team, Villanova, trailing Utah State in the game. And the sideline reporter, Lauren, whatever her name is, she starts asking him some questions. And this is what he says about his assistant coaches, his staff, the people who work for him, who give them their unfailing labor. This is what he says. Go ahead.
Coach, 16 paint points for Utah State. How do you keep them out?
I'm going to fire my staff because we've...
Not now.
Yeah, I am, because we've given up 8 points on underneath out of bounds defense. So the only thing I'm going to do is fire them and get a new staff.
All right, go do that now. Bye, Coach.
Wow.
We're losing people.
Now, he's claiming that it was a joke. Hey, it was just a joke. Just a joke.
Yeah.
But Nova went on to lose the game, like I said, to Utah State, team that they should have beaten. They lost the game 86-76. And so this is now the press conference after he lost. They ask him again.
Okay.
You know, Utah State was doing good on the out of bounds. They had a couple scores off that. Where do you think you guys flipped the script on that and kind of was able to get a run off?
I don't think we did. We gave up a big 3 late. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to make some changes to my staff just because of how bad we were.
Mark Zuccarelli in your Tribune, you just mentioned making changes to your staff. You gave a...
it's a joke.
That's what I want to ask you about.
Bless it.
You gave an interview during the game. It went viral. You're being criticized pretty heavily online.
I don't care.
It's a joke.
Welcome to my life.
Okay. First of all, if I'm the Villanova athletic director, he's fired today.
Yeah, right?
Today. Number 1 of comedy, right? If you're going to do a joke, let people in on it. A smile, a wink and a nod, a chuckle, so on and so forth. But who hasn't had a person like this at work that says something to you where it's a little bit offensive, but it's under the guise of a joke?
Yeah, I've been that guy at every company I've ever worked for.
I had a guy at 95.9, Carl Kraft. And what it was never a joke. It was passive aggressive pussy ass honesty that wrapped into, and I'm like, are you serious? It's a joke. Here's the thing. When you do it again, when he followed up his, in my opinion, tasteless and inappropriate joke, and I'll get to the reason why in a second. But when you follow that up with another time where you say, yeah, I'm going to have to fire my staff, and you do it with a deadpan, there's nothing comedic about this delivery in any way, shape, or form.
Not at all.
And you say it again? No, it's not a joke. It's what you feel. It's that is what's going through your sick, angry little head. And even worse, you got no guts, no balls. So you hide under, it's a joke. And that's all it is. You're running from the heat. You're a scumbag for doing that to people who work for you. And then when people rightfully said, hey, man, like, what about the halftime thing? Well, it's a joke. How would anyone know it's a joke when your face is like that? And I saw some people, this is who Kevin Willard is. An asshole?
Yeah, maybe, David.
Like, first of all, let me explain something to you. It's not a joke when something bad happens and your boss is throwing you under the bus.
Never.
There is nothing jokey about that. That's my goddamn livelihood. That's his assistant's livelihood. That's his assistant's job. They're looking to build their resume so that someday they can become head coaches elsewhere. They don't need this stooge, this bald-headed Nimrod saying, oh, I'm joking, throwing me under the bus. By the way, anyone ever hear the concept of the buck stops here? Yep. If you're the head coach,
you know
who's at fault for those 4 out of bounds plays that resulted in 8 points for Utah State? You are stupid. If it happens one time, you say, hey, we can't run that same play, that same defense again. And if it happens a second time, you go, hey, Johnny, whatever, or coach, whatever your name is, we need a different defense. And if it keeps happening, you go, hey, we tried different defenses. Comes down to we didn't make the right adjustments. They had some excellent designs in some of those out-of-bound plays, and it really cost us. But you don't go, I got to fire my staff. And then after the loss. So you're not joking after the loss where your team has just been eliminated from the NCAA tournament. Your team is kicked out of March Madness. You're gone. And you're Villanova, who was coming off insane amount of success, multinational championship success under Jay Wright. That's the program you inherited, and you can't get it done. You can't advance to the Sweet 16, and you're blaming on your assistant coaches. And then when you're getting called out on it, you're going, "It was a joke." No, it wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke. It was passive aggressively exactly how you feel. And I do know people like that. The Carls of the world at 95.9 FM, and they are the worst people in the world. They have no backbone. They're narcissistic, self-absorbed douchebags who don't care about anyone else. And they're usually, by the way, the least intelligent and least talented people in the room. If I was the athletic director, I would tell this guy, I'm going to get one of your assistant coaches who couldn't cut it. They're going to be the new head coach because you're out. You're fired. And I'm going to one of those people to lead the Wildcats in the future. This guy's a complete piece of garbage. Screw Kevin Willard.
I mean,
Robert,
I would definitely get rid of him. I don't know if I'd put one of the assistant coaches in charge. They gave up 4 easy out of bounds plays. Let's be serious here for a second.
That's on the head coach.
No, 100%. And who would work for this guy? Like, the rule as a head coach is you win by you. The wins are by you. The losses are by you. It doesn't matter what part of your team is in charge of that part of the game. It's your oversight.
I was always told the wins are by the players,
the losses,
and the losses are by the coach.
Exactly.
And that's leadership.
But more importantly,
where when you win, you spread the wealth and you go, our players came ready to play, our players prepared, and our players got the job done. You give the credit to the people who got you that success. And when you lose, there was something, because if those people are talented enough to get you into the NCAA tournament, and this was the second round, talented enough to win a game, then all of a sudden those people aren't just turning into dummies in round 2. It means you, Kevin Willard, are the dummy, and you're a bad guy, 100%.
Yeah. And yes, this might be a controversial take. I'd be more upset if he was actually joking. Like, why, when you're losing, getting interviewed at halftime, are you making jokes? Like, why is that the time for humor? It'd be one thing if you're up 80 points and the game's over and you want to have something funny to say about, oh, we gave up a couple. Then it's a joke. You're losing. Your mind should be on, how do I fix this problem?
David, I would never go against your mother in anything in life, but for the first time in my life, I recognize that this man is not very handsome at all.
Jay Wright. Robert, get a picture of Jay Wright. This is Kevin Willard.
Oh, the whole time I'm thinking your mother thinks this guy's handsome, and I'm trying to figure out. I just don't see it, David. His attitude makes him very ugly to me.
Roy, you are like Bo with better equipment sometimes. and a brilliant musician. Because Bo can't even play the triangle.
Okay, all right.
Robert didn't get the best picture. He looked like that FBI guy who just died in that picture, Robert Mueller.
Yeah, okay, so he's got a bit of a Clooney thing going. All right,
yeah.
I take it back. I'm back on your mom's side, David.
Yeah,
take it back.
But that's a good. Okay, we don't have to. We're not going to be judging Jay Wright's looks. That's a good enough picture. And yes, he's got the Clooney thing. This little bald a-hole needs to go. He go back to one of your little Division III schools. You angry dweeb. If I was an assistant coach, I probably would have punched this guy in the face.
Well, I'm glad you said angry dweeb, Dave, because what does this feel like somebody who's on. Like, this feels like a guy who's been on a cocaine bender. And I don't know if you know, or drinking. I don't know if you know about Villanova, though.
Angry
They're very
drunk.
well known for their cocaine. And that sometimes will make you say, oh, like, you're rational. Like, I got to fire everybody. I'm just saying. There's a possibility.
No. There's not a possibility. There are things called lawsuits. And that's why it's not a possibility.
Okay,
now,
it's a theory.
Having said that, he coached Seton Hall right here in the great state of New Jersey for many years. And the word on the street was he liked to hit the local saloons quite a bit. And sometimes if you maybe hit the saloon the night before, sometimes the day after, you're a little ornery and you're not thinking clearly. I'm not saying that this was the case. I don't want to get sued, unlike Robert Tamburro.
No, and
Tamburro. Kevin Willard, in case you need to sue anyone for that cocaine.
No. I never said. I said it was a possibility. And I'm just saying, after a night of drinking and waking up a little confused and ornery, I've never known anyone to be like, how can I fix my mood?
Well, that's true. Sometimes people need a nice little pick-me-up to start the day after a night out on the town. Mike Francesa has done it. And Mike Francesa has done it again, and he's done it 3 times. Well, really 2 times, 2.5. One time was me. First of all, Mike Francesa looking up something. I've never seen another radio host on the planet Earth do this, where even though Mike Francesa has producers, folks, he has a board op, he has producers. I've never seen someone who feels the need to Google himself, like not Google Mike Francesa, but himself Google.
Doing his research.
Yeah, do a research live on the air.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I call him Mike Francesa, the dead air king. You have to understand, folks, if it's 7 seconds of non-talking in radio, this goes for almost every radio station you listen to. If you go 7 seconds without talking, usually a commercial or a song plays automatically. The computer's set up to recognize set of dead air. And once you go to 7 seconds of dead air in any station I've ever been into, that's it. Automated, something pops in. So that's not dead air on your radio station. The thing is, now that everyone's doing online shows, ourselves included, there's now more opportunity for dead air. Because he's doing it for some, Bet Rivers network or whatever the hell. He's doing some kind of digital thing. It's not WFAN in New York anymore. It's a digital streaming service that he's doing it for, the Mike Francesa podcast. And so there's no commercial that they're going to throw to. So please enjoy this and understand that if you're only listening to this show, this is not us doing dead air. This is Mike trying to Google something live on the air. This is what this sounds like. Go ahead.
If you're looking for local teams, if you're looking for like St. John's, they're tomorrow night at 7. If you're looking for Hofstra, they are.
Here we go. The Hofstra. He's looking up where Hofstra's playing.
Where's Hofstra?
Where is Hofstra?
I feel like his Bluetooth is buffering.
I love when he does the breathing thing.
I like when he sucks his teeth. You can see him just.
He's still talking. Yeah. Hofstra. Look at this. Listen to this. This is still him looking it up, folks. We're watching a man just look at his phone. The listeners, meanwhile, have no fucking idea.
They are tomorrow against Alabama at 3:15.
Thank you. Only, and I love all the noises that he makes as a stall tactic. Let me say here. Hofstra. Let me get my pen out real quick. Let me pretend to draw something here. Okay. Hofstra. H. O. F. S. There's a T in there. H O F S T R. I'm gonna put that one in there, and then A for Hofstra, located right here in the great state of New York. Hofstra, Hofstra, Hof. That's like the guy who was on the Baywatch, the Hoff. That he was a judge. America's Got Talent, the Hoff. But then he got fired because he was on the ground, drunk, eating a cheeseburger when his daughter was video him, Hasselhoff, Hofstra, David Hasselhoff, AGT, America's Got Talent, Simon Cowell, CO, and then knows been on for a long time lately, Howie Mandel. Very funny man. I saw him in Atlantic City in 1983. Long before he made that movie where, he came out of the woods. He was raised by wolves. And he learns how to be a human. I believe the name of the movie was Walk Like a Man. It was a big-time film. I think it may have been nominated for a few Oscars that year. I can't verify that, but it may have. This was 1983 in Atlantic City, before that came out. He takes a rubber glove. He blows it up. He puts it on his head. I follow comedians for the last 45 years. Okay, I follow them all. Okay, Hope. Bobby Hope. George Burns. Okay. Nothing is going to beat Howie Mandel with the glove on his head. Nothing. I think it's time we all recognize Howie Mandel, king of comedy. Nobody will be funnier, and in fact, we could probably outlaw comedy right now because it can only go down. Howie Mandel with the glove is still the greatest thing I've ever seen. That includes Chris Chambliss' 1976 pennant-winning home run over the Royals. I'm Mike Francesa. I love Howie Mandel. I hate all of you. Good night. I've never seen him have. Why can't he get a producer to do this for him?
You know what? That may be, who knows? That may be part of his deal with this new network. Maybe they cut back his salary and they're like, no producers necessary. You could just do it yourself, Mike.
There's at least a board op, I would think. There's at least a board op.
You would hope.
Well, then the board op could do that for him. The other thing about Mike and the Mad Dog, this is why I say it's 2.5 Mike and the Mad Dog things. I made this little tweet, and it was a winner, as always. I saw these two gentlemen, they went viral, these two gentlemen from, I think, Miami, who are into jewelry, Roy. And I said, wow, this Mike and the Mad Dog reunion has taken a turn, because they reminded me of an alternate dimension Mike and the Mad Dog.
I think they're into more than just jewelry.
Tell me the guy on the right doesn't look exactly like Francesa if, let's just say, he lived a different lifestyle. One that he was, one that involved lots of pride. Meanwhile, that guy actually reminds me of a young Chris Russo. Not Chris Russo now, but like Chris Russo, like, who was, 40-year-old Chris Russo.
More like Chris the Twink Dog Russo.
Yeah, come on. I mean, can you see it? Am I the only one who sees alternate universe? Let's just say it like it is. Gay Mike and the Mad Dog.
No, unfortunately, I can't unsee it, Dave.
And then lastly with Mike, there's a St. John's player who, and like we said, St. John's won classic game over Kansas. Really good stuff. They got a guy, Zuby Elijahfor.
Oh, yeah.
Or Ejiofor, excuse me. I don't want to be a Mike and mispronounce these names. But Zuby Ejiofor is a guy who's playing for St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike said that Zuby originally was playing for Kansas, but transferred from Kansas to St. John's because Joel Embiid was the big man getting more minutes ahead of him. Okay, Roy, are you following me?
So far, so good. Yeah, but yes.
All right.
I'm not.
Well, yeah, Robert's not because he understands Joel Embiid's been in the NBA for like 10 years from now.
Oh.
And, yeah, if not longer. And in fact, it was pointed out that Embiid's last game with Kansas was March 2014 when Zuby was 9 years old. thereby making it impossible to have spent a year behind Embiid, and that's why he transferred from Kansas to St. John's. Mike was thinking, yes, he didn't get the playing time at Kansas, this Zuby, because of Joel Embiid. Here's the clip that everyone's discussing.
Break, they score off the turnover, and they score off the offensive rebound. And then Zuby sometimes will get a little thing going. Zuby can look really bad offensively, and he can look really sweet offensively. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially against Kansas. Because remember, he left Kansas, but that's a long time ago. And he left Kansas because of Embiid. And Embiid's a different player than Zuby. I mean, Embiid, when he's healthy, is a guy who can score 50 points in the NBA. He's a big-time talent. That's no big deal that that Embiid was over him. I mean, that happens. And he came and he found a home and had one of the great careers in the history of St. John's. Which
there it is, right there. So
about him.
Again, 2014, Zuby would have been 9. Zuby also, that means, would have been in college for the last 12 years.
Yeah.
Breaking, I believe, Tommy Boy's record of 9. God, I love Mike Francesa so much, Robert.
Is he wearing a stethoscope? Like, what kind of headphones are those? I've never seen anything like that.
No, he's got the earbud. He's got the Dave Man earbuds.
No, they're like super thick and plasticky.
Let's see.
He may have actual in-ear monitors. That's
just
like
put him on mute, but play the video just so I can see if he tilts his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They're extra thick. Don't forget, he's getting up there in age. Mike's
could be a hearing aid. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Mike's going to be approaching 70 soon, I would imagine.
Yeah.
If not already there. So yeah, he might have some super powered old person. He's got to get the big, thick blue blockers then and complete this. Yeah. I'm really old and I need thick stuff all over my head.
Then we got to get him to start commenting on the University of Maryland's basketball team and just ride off into the sunset.
So when Zuby was 9, I believe, he was behind Embiid at Kansas. A lot of people don't know that. And Joel Embiid goes to Zuby Ejiofor. He says, "Hey, Zuby, I recognize you're a talented basketball player, but you're only 9. I'm not even sure if it's legal for a 9-year-old to attend college. Okay? Maybe, try Double Dare. I don't know if that show's around with Mark Summers. I hear he's a neat freak, by the way, Mark Summers. I hear he vacuums his house about 35 times a day. He's a real fruitcake, that Mark Summers, the host of Double Dare. All I'm saying is, Zuby, maybe, try something that kids are into. I don't know how a 9-year-old, 9, thinks he's going to play over Embiid. Even though he's a very tall 9-year-old, okay? He was, 5'9", 5'10". For a 9-year-old, okay, that's very, very big. Embiid was 7 feet tall. Now, I don't know how he thought, Zuby thought. And listen, no shame in coming from St. John's. Coming into the Big Apple. And that's the thing that people didn't know. When Zuby came to St. John's in New York City, don't forget, then he had to do his sophomore year at the age of 10. And now he's a 10-year-old in New York City, and he's running around, and all of a sudden he runs into these two guys, Marv and Harry. Okay? And there's some controversy whether they're the wet bandits or the sticky bandits. But what I do know is both that they wanted to kidnap and murder Zuby. So we built a trap for him, tied paint cans to the stairs, hit him in the head with it. And I go, this is exactly why Zuby transferred to St. John's. He gets it done in the Big Apple, right here. And then he's watching a movie, eating ice cream. Here comes Tim Curry knocking on the door. Hey, what's going on there? Hey, I'm a 10-year-old. I'm lost in New York. I'm Zuby Ejiofor. Give me a break already. Okay, I couldn't play. I couldn't get starting time over Joel Embiid, so I got to move to New York when I'm 10. I got to take out the Sticky Bandits. And now I got Tim Curry not allowing me to watch, a gangster movie and eat a sundae. Okay? If you think about it, Zuby's undergone a lot. So it's nice to see him hit his full potential here with the Johnnies in March Madness as the Red Storm headed to the Sweet 16 on the Coach Rick Pitino. I'm Mike Francesa. Screw you, America. Two quick things, and then we must go. Barstool's Big Cats. Are you familiar with him, Robert?
Yes, I am. Very funny guy. He's kind of like their second behind Portnoy and famous.
Okay, because what's his real name? Or it's just he only goes by Big Cat?
He only goes by Big Cat.
Okay, fine. I don't always know all of the Barstool culture. I don't follow it that well. I certainly am familiar that they're a massive entity, and I know Dave Portnoy and all that kind of thing. But the Barstool's Big Cat called out Ken Rosenthal, who is the Fox annoying sideline reporter who wears the bow tie. He's a total dork. I've never liked his style. I've never liked him. I've always thought he's kind of patronizing and condescending. And don't forget the video that went viral last year. And we all played it. We played it on this show. But it was a video where he knocked over the Brewers official cameraman who was trying to get a picture of one of the Brewers players after they had like a walk-off hit. Mm-hmm. And Rosenthal's standing there with his little Fox microphone. He walks backwards, runs over the cameraman. 99% of normal human beings go, "Oh, sorry, man," instinctively, without even thinking it. "Oh, I just ran over another human being. Sorry, bro, maybe offer a hand." I know I would do that. I believe Robert and Roy would do that.
Certainly.
Or step over him like I'm Allen Iverson.
But it's instinctual. It's an instinctive, "Oh, sorry, I bumped into you. You good? Okay." Let's refresh people's memory of that video because Ken Rosenthal stared daggers into the guy. Look at that stare. Like he was De Niro in Goodfellas about to murder Maury. Stares daggers into the photographer, and put it on mute and just play it. And kind of does this gesture of, "Well, sorry, man. Sorry for running into you. Shouldn't have been there." someone else in the Brewers organization actually had to go up to the guy. You okay? Because the guy gets knocked backwards. The camera went flying. All kinds of stuff was all over the ground. And just Rosenthal being like, hey, how dare you get in my personal space? Ken, you were the guy who ran into the photographer, a photographer who is supposed to be there. He's taking pictures for the team. Right away, everyone who saw that video could instantly see, oh, that's a bad guy.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that his interviews suck. So now he's gotten a lot of heat where people are like, I don't want Ken Rosenthal working the WBC. He was doing the World Baseball Classic for Fox. And people are like, we don't need Ken Rosenthal here. He kind of sucks and he's a bad dude. You can tell someone's inner decency with things like that. You absolutely can. And a light was shined on the fact that this little goblin and dweeb has bad guy. So Barstool's Big Cat simply called for Ken Rosenthal to just get lost from the WBC, if not be fired from Fox altogether, right?
Yeah. Yes, I'm with you so far.
No problem.
Sure.
And here's the issue with hot take culture. The very next day, Big Cat apologized for it and said, well, maybe I was too strong with my words, or maybe I went in a little too strong. He shouldn't actually be fired. He should, it's just, I went in a little too strong. And this is everything I hate about hot take culture. And I've said this before. It's about ESPN. It's about McAfee. It's about Barstool. All these guys do is give you fake ass hot take after hot take, which is bad enough because they don't mean it. Well, then they reveal that they truly don't mean it by apologizing the very next day.
Disgusting.
This is why it is truly a waste of time to listen to or watch those shows. The one thing I don't do here is give you any fake takes. This isn't what's my hot take of the day? Everything is honest. Everything is real. This is actually the way. This is my point of view. This is our point of view. We're going to give you honest sports talk with a little fun, a little razzle-dazzle, a little entertainment, and get the heck out of here. But all these guys do is apologize. Yeah. So you know what, Barstool Big Cat? Congratulations. You're another one I can't listen to. Because obviously you just BS, say stuff on the air that you don't mean. Yeah. Because if you're taking it back the next day, because I don't want to waste my time listening to someone get fired up, and I'm like, okay, yeah, righteous, yeah, I'm with you. Ken Rosenthal does suck, and the next day, hey, I was too strong on Ken Rosenthal. He shouldn't be. Then screw you. I'm never listening to you again because everything is fake ass, phony baloney from your mouth.
Big Cat should change his name to Big Pussy Cat.
I think that's taken by Karl Anthony Towns.
Hey, doesn't need to get any garbage on him. And then speaking of Karl Anthony Towns and the Knicks, Stephen A. Smith.
My personal favorite.
He's been criticizing Jalen Brunson for the fact that Mikal Bridges, another Knick, has really sucked this year. Now, these are professional athletes. They all get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars to train and to practice. They're also grown men. They're independent, responsible adults, hopefully. If one guy sucks the way Mikal Bridges has sucked, how is that Jalen Brunson's fault? Stephen A. Smith is contending that Jalen Brunson somehow was behind the Knicks trade where they traded 4 or 5 maybe NBA draft picks to the Brooklyn Nets for Mikal Bridges. Because what Stephen A. Smith's contention is that they could have used those draft picks to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay. Number one, he has zero proof.
Yeah.
He's just and if you're asking, well, why would that have happened? He says, Mikal Bridges, just like Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges was Jalen Brunson's Villanova teammate and that they're buddies. Brunson and Josh Hart are buddies. I don't know how close Brunson is with Mikal Bridges, but nevertheless, Leon Rose is the general manager of the Knicks. Even if Jalen Brunson says, hey, it'd be cool if we got another Villanova guy here. He won a national championship. You know, he's got some experience. We have chemistry. He's a friend. It'd be cool if we got him. Sure. But it's ultimately Leon Rose, the general manager, who made the trade. And Leon Rose would easily have come back and told Jalen Brunson, if he thought it was a really bad idea, hey, Jalen, we tried to get Bridges. They want 5 picks. It's just too many. Can't get him for you. Sorry, buddy. And I'm sure Brunson would have been like, okay, you tried. And yes, that is too many picks. 5 picks. Yes, that's warranted for an MVP and NBA champion in Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's not warranted for Mikal Bridges. But that's not Brunson. He's not the general manager. So Stephen A has no proof of any of this and is just blaming Jalen Brunson for the fact that who's having another phenomenal season for the Knicks. And Stephen A is blaming him for Mikal Bridges sucking. It makes 0 sense. It's insane. Yes.
Even if everything he said was factually accurate, how do we get to the intellectual leap that all that happened and that's why Mikal Bridges is playing poorly? Is it just like none of that, even if it was true that Jalen Brunson went to the team and was like, we need Mikal Bridges, and Giannis was a possibility for those picks, how does that affect Mikal's play?
No, it shouldn't. Mikal Bridges has been bad this year. He can't shoot.
That's my point, though. Like Stephen A said, it's Jalen Brunson's fault that he's playing poorly. It has nothing to do with that. Even if all that he said was true, like it'd be one thing if you're like Jalen's taking all the isolation plays and isn't giving him the ball. Then you could critique it affecting somebody else's play. This is nuts.
This is a guy who's lost his jump shot. This is a guy who used to have a bread and butter mid-range jump shot. You know, wasn't as consistent from 3, but anything 17, 18 foot was supposed to be automatic, and he hasn't hit those this year. I mean, he had a game recently where he went like 0 for 6 for the whole game.
Yeah.
It's just like between even the shot attempts, let alone actually making the shots. It was just like you're nothing out there right now. You're in complete non-factor. 0 for 6. This is a guy who's lost his jump shot completely. He's played like garbage. You know who is to blame for Mikal Bridges being bad? Mikal Bridges. These are professional athletes. You don't pass just like the stupid Villanova coach shouldn't blame the assistant coaches. One player can't blame another player, or an ESPN talking head can't blame the team's best player in Jalen Brunson for the fact that this guy can't hit the side of a barn with a jump shot.
Yeah, that's my question. Like, what does he say? Like, is he saying if he was on Brooklyn, he would have made those 6 shots? Like, how does this even, like, he's just shooting the basketball.
Stephen A's only point is that the Knicks gave up too many draft picks and Bridges has sucked this year. The Knicks did give up too many draft picks and Mikal Bridges has sucked this year. What I'm saying is Stephen A mysteriously puts all of the blame on Brunson, basically saying he somehow was the general manager behind the whole deal. My contention is even if Brunson wanted Bridges on the team, it's ultimately Leon Rose, the general manager, who should have come back and said, hey, 5 picks is too much. So this is on 2 people. Leon Rose for giving way too many picks for this guy who's, in my opinion, he's a bit of a loser. And it's on Bridges. That's it.
Okay.
And what I wouldn't give to have Dante DiVincenzo back and take Bridges' spot. Because DiVincenzo fit the Knicks. He brought fire. He brought grit. He brought some heart. Right. And Bridges is one of these too cool for school types. And I'm sorry. He's failed this year.
I'm usually pretty careful when I criticize Stephen A. Smith. I think he may be president the next term. Looks like
what? So what's he gonna do? Assassinate us?
Hey, you never know, man. You never know. He's the president. He can do whatever he wants, right? He could certainly say why Mike Bridges sucks, right?
So Stephen A. Smith is gonna become president, and he's gonna assassinate the Davey Mac Sports Program for our bringing him up today.
Well, when you got the CIA behind you, who knows what he's capable of, David? I'm just saying, be careful.
I'm not sure who's crazy, you or Daniel Bobo Kurlan. Who's the crazier one? That'll do it. Anything to promote. But anyway, I'm happy baseball's back. March Madness going strong. We did see a Knicks win recently. Roy, myself, and Robert were in the building for the Knicks beating the Nets. Speaking of
the Knicks
that team.
won. Oh, they won.
Yes.
I left early because I wanted to make sure I beat the traffic.
Oh,
so
that's right.
thank you, David. I appreciate the update.
Yes, you and Robert left early. I stayed. I stayed till the end of the game because I'm a sports fan. But nevertheless, a lot of things going on. Robert, what are you promoting, sir?
April 4th, I'll be at Wise Guys in Oneonta, New York for Bobby's show. And then April 10th, I'll be at Mickey's Black Box featuring for Earl David Reed. He's taping his special for Amazon Prime. Come on out.
Excellent. Roy Harder.
I got a gig with my instrumental post-rock band called Torpedo the Band, and we are playing at the Last Word in Huntington, Long Island, New York from 7 to 11. That's this Friday night.
I love it, Roy. All right, well, that's it for me. I guess, we're going to promote, if you missed Modern Day Man, we should have probably sent a message out, Robert, that Modern Day Man's off this week.
We will be back this week, hopefully.
I got a lot of messages, and for whatever reason, people always assume, I guess you guys have been canceled or something like that. I'm like, why would you people? We've gone straight for like 40-something weeks. We need to take a week off every once in a while because people have lives and children's and responsibilities that occasionally we have to take care of. Nevertheless, Modern Day Man is back this week, so look for a new episode on Friday. The Darth Maul series is coming back in April. When that happens, Yaddle Chattel will be back, as Yaddle Chattel is a post Star Wars show. So look for that. Also, Davey Mac Sports Program going strong. Tales from the Satellite. Check it out on patreon.com/EastsideDave. Subscribe for everything. And April 11th. 30th anniversary event for the IWF, the Independent Wrestling Federation. I'm going to be there. The East Side Empire, my team, my stable, my faction is going to be there. Robert Atkins, Brian Atkins, First Class Justin Adams. Everyone's going to be there. We all have big matches. You can get your tickets. Tickets are selling, but there are a few tickets at campiwf.com. The event is in Nutley, New Jersey, April 11th. Get your tickets at campiwf.com. And that will do it for Roy Harder, for Bobby Tamburo. My name is Eastside Dave McDonald. Good night, everybody.